Hello class and welcome to our lesson. My name is Teacher Evelyn. Today we want to learn about methods of cooking, and before we begin, let's think, why is it that we cook our food? Cooking is the process of preparing food using heat. It helps us to make food safe to eat by killing harmful microorganisms. It makes food softer and easier to digest. It improves the flavor, aroma, and color, and combines different ingredients to make the meal more delicious. Part 1. Classification of cooking methods. All cooking methods can be grouped into two main categories: moist heat methods, where we use water or steam, and dry heat methods, where we use hot air, fat, or direct heat to cook without adding so much water. Now let's explore each group in detail with examples, advantages, disadvantages, and uses. Part 2. Moist heat methods. These methods use water or steam to transfer heat to the food. The first one is boiling, where we cook food in plenty of water at 100 degrees Celsius. Examples of foods that can be boiled include eggs, potatoes, maize, rice, beans, and pasta. The advantages of boiling include it's a simple and a quick way, it makes food soft and easy to digest, and can cook so many types of food. Disadvantages include that some nutrients, especially vitamins, may be lost in water, and food can become tasteless if too much water is used. Here's a tip. To save nutrients, use the leftover water, the stock, in soups or stews. You can also use it to cook other food. So which foods do you usually boil at home? Think about it. Most weekends when I'm free, I normally boil my githeri. Let's move on to the dry heat methods. These methods use dry heat, fat, or direct fire to cook our foods. Frying is cooking food in hot fat or oil, and we have two methods of frying. The first one is shallow frying, where we use small amounts of oil, for example, to cook foods like eggs and chapatis. The second method is deep frying, where food is fully dipped in oil and it's fully covered. Examples include mandazi, chips, samosas. Advantages of deep or shallow frying food include the fact that it's quick and makes food golden brown and crispy, looking very nice, and it also enhances food flavor. Who doesn't like fried food? And that comes with the disadvantages of the fact that when too much oil is used, the food becomes unhealthy, and the oil is dangerous as it can splatter and cause burns when not handled carefully. So always make sure that an adult is there when you're cooking your food. Health tip: use clean oil and avoid reusing your cooking oil many times. Part 4 is safety and hygiene when you're cooking. So every time that you're cooking, you should always remember these safety rules. Always wash your hands and the ingredients before cooking. Tie your hair and wear a clean apron. Use clean utensils and be careful when handling knives. Avoid leaving cooking food unattended, and turn off the stove or the fire when you are done cooking. In today's video, we're going to learn about small wild animals that destroy our crops and how we can manage them. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify small wild animals that destroy our crops, describe the damages they cause, and explain simple ways of managing them safely. Are you ready? Let's begin! Small wild animals are animals that live freely in the environment but sometimes visit our farms and gardens for food. When they eat or destroy our crops, we call them crop-destroying wild animals or pests. Some of them are very small, but damages they cause are very big. The examples include weaverbirds, hares, squirrels, monkeys, and moles. We start with weaverbirds. Weaverbirds are small yellow or brown birds that build hanging nests on trees. They love to eat grains such as maize, millet, rice, and sorghum. When they come in large numbers, they can finish a whole farm in just a few days. Damages they cause include eating grains from the cob and scattering seeds, causing losses to farmers. We can manage them by scaring them using scarecrows made from old clothes or tins. We can also tie shiny materials like foils, paper, or old CDs around the field. This helps to scare them away. Another management method is by clapping and making noise so that they can be scared away from the field. It's also good to harvest as soon as our grains are ready. Now let's move to hares. Hares look like small rabbits. They love eating young plants, especially vegetables, carrots, beans, and maize seedlings. They usually come to our farms at night or early in the morning. And they can cause damages like biting of young shoots and uprooting the seedlings, and then they leave the garden with uneven growth. To manage them, we can fence the garden with sticks, wire, or thorny branches, and we can plant crops in fenced plots or school gardens. We can keep dogs to scare them away and always inspect the garden in the morning for fresh damages. Squirrels. Squirrels are small with bushy tails. They climb up on trees and like eating fruits, nuts, and seeds. The damages they cause include eating fruits like mangoes and avocados. They remove maize grains from cobs and they cause fruits to fall early. We can manage them by harvesting fruits when they are mature, not letting them overstay on trees, using traps or scare them using sounds, and keep the area around the trees clean to remove hiding places. Monkeys. Monkeys are playful and very clever animals. They do come in groups and can destroy vegetables, fruits, and cereals, among other crops. The damages they cause include eating of fruits and pulling and breaking branches of our plants. To manage monkeys, we should fence the farm using wire mesh, use scarecrows, and guard the farm during the day. We should work together as a community to chase them away. Dogs can also help chase them away. Moles. Moles live underground. They dig tunnels and can feed on the roots of our crops. You can notice mole activity when you see raised soil moles in the garden. The damages they cause include eating out roots and cause plants to wilt, and the tunnels uproot young plants. We can thus manage them by pouring water into their holes to chase them out. We can use traps in their tunnel and keep the soil firm around our plants. Now let's talk about general ways we can protect our crops from all these animals. Scarecrows. We can make a simple scarecrow using sticks, old clothes and a hat. Place it in the gardens to scare away birds and monkeys. Fencing. We can use thorny branches, sticks or wire to prevent animals like hares and monkeys from entering. The use of noise and shining objects, hanging shiny tins, old CDs or used rattles to make noise when the wind blows scares the animals away. Keeping animals like dogs and cats. Dogs chase hares and monkeys while cats can help control mice and rats. We should also harvest on time. Don't let crops overstay in the field. Birds and animals come when food is in plenty. Wild animals are part of our environment. Therefore, we should not harm them. Instead, we should find safe and friendly ways to protect our crops from them. We should also not play with them nor pet them. When we spot them, we should always tell the adults who can in turn report to necessary authorities if need be. In this video, we're going to talk about a fun and exciting topic on domestic animals and their uses. Now, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to identify different types of domestic animals, explain their uses, and understand the importance of taking good care of them. Let's dive right in. So what are domestic animals? Domestic animals are animals that live with people and depend on us for food, shelter, and protection, and they can be found in our homes, farms, and compounds. Some domestic animals include cows, goats, sheep, chicken, duck, turkey, rabbits, pigs, horses and donkeys, camels, dogs, and cats. Domestic animals are quite different from wild animals which live in the forests and national parks. Domestic animals are indeed our helpers, friends, and providers. Types of domestic animals. Domestic animals can be grouped into two main types. 1. Animals kept for food and useful products, and 2. Animals kept for work, protection, and comfort. We'll start with the ones that give us food. Yummy! Animals that give us food and products. Let's look at the animals that provide us with food and other useful things. Cows give us milk, which we drink or use to make butter, yogurt, and cheese. Their meat, which is also called beef, is eaten, and their skin gives leather for shoes and belts. Fly whisks and horns are used for traditional ornaments, and cows also give us manure. Goats, on the other hand, also provide us with milk and meat. Their meat is called chevron. They also give us manure, and their skin can be used to make leather too. Goat meat is very common and tasty in many families. Sheep give us meat, mutton, that's what it's called, milk, manure, and wool for making warm clothes, carpets, and blankets. Look at that scarf, beautiful. Pigs provide us with meat, which is called pork. This meat is used to make sausages, bacon, and ham. They grow very fast and are good sources of income for farmers. Oh, they also give us manure. Rabbits are kept for their meat and their soft fur, which can be used to make clothes and toys. Of course, they do provide us with manure. Let's move to camels, which are kept in arid and semi-arid regions. They give us milk and meat too, and the milk is very nutritious. Poultry refers to birds that are kept by people for their eggs, meat, and sometimes feathers. Examples of poultry include chicken, which give us eggs and meat. Eggs are full of proteins that helps our bodies to grow strong. Duck also provide us with meat and eggs, and they are often kept near water bodies because ducks loves water. Turkey. These are large birds that give us very delicious meats and are mostly eaten in large celebrations like Christmas. Pigeons. These are small birds and some people keep them for meat or pets. Guinea fowls might be rare, but they are also poultry that give us meat and sometimes eggs. Poultry farming is very important because it gives quick income and nutritious food to families. Animals kept for work and comfort or security. There are some other domestic animals that help us in different ways. For example, donkeys. Donkeys are very useful because they carry goods, fetch water, and can help farmers to plow their land. Camels are also used for transport in dry areas and they can walk long distances without water. Dogs guard our homes and livestock and sometimes are even trained to help the police in investigation. Cats, on the other hand, protect our homes by chasing rats and mice away, which destroy our clothes and foods. Cats can also be snuggly. Isn't that amazing? Animals are truly helpful in so many ways. Now, the importance of domestic animals include but not limited to provide food like meat, milk and eggs, give us useful products like wool, leather and manure, help us in transport and farming, and guard and protect us, a source of security, and they also bring income and can become our friends. Caring for domestic animals. We should take good care of domestic animals by giving them enough food and clean water, keeping them in very clean shelters, vaccinating them according to their types for various diseases, and washing and grooming them very regularly. We can also treat them with kindness and love. Healthy animals grow well, live long, and give us even more products. Soon we're going to learn all about fuels that are used at home for cooking and lighting, how we can conserve them, their advantages, and some safety rules to follow when using them. So get your notebook, pen, and let's get learning together. Part 1. What are fuels? Fuel is any material that can be burnt or used to produce heat and energy. We use fuels every single day. When we're cooking, when we're heating water, ironing, and even when we light our homes in the dark. There are many types of fuel and today we'll focus on those we use at home for cooking and lighting. Fuels used for cooking. Let's start with fuels used at home for cooking. Different homes use different types of fuel, depending on what is available and affordable. Look at some common ones. First, we have firewood. Firewood is used in many rural areas. It comes from trees. It is cheap and easy to find, but it produces smoke that can cause coughing and eye irritation, and it can also lead to cutting down of so many trees. The second one is charcoal. Charcoal is made from burning wood slowly without air. It's easier to use than firewood and gives more heat. However, it also produces smoke and cutting trees for charcoal can cause deforestation. Let's move on to kerosene. It's a liquid fuel used in stoves. It burns with a bright flame and is so easy to store, but kerosene can cause fires if not handled properly, and it does give off a very strong smell. Liquid petroleum gas, commonly called cooking gas, burns clearly and does not produce smoke. It's fast, efficient, and safe when used carefully, but it is more expensive and needs to be handled with care to avoid leaks. Biogas is also a clean and renewable fuel made from animal waste, food remains, or plant materials. It burns clearly and helps reduce waste in the environment. It requires a biogas digester, which can be very expensive to install at first. Part 3. Fuels used for lighting. Now let's move to fuels used for lighting our homes, especially in places without electricity. First we have kerosene. It's used in lamps and lanterns. It gives bright light but produces smoke and smells and can cause accident if spilled or placed near curtains or papers. Another one is candle, which is made from wax. It's easy to use and available everywhere, but they can also melt quickly and cause fires if left unattended. Electricity and solar energy are modern and clean sources of lighting. Solar lamps use sunlight stored in batteries. Electricity and solar light do not produce smoke and are safe if wires are properly fixed. Let's look at ways of conserving fuels. Now that we know the different fuels used at home, let's learn how to conserve them. Conserving fuel means using it wisely so that it does not get wasted. Ways to conserve cooking fuel include: use cooking pots with lids to save on heat. Cook enough food for everyone at once instead of cooking several times. Use dry firewood because it burns faster and produces more heat. And of course, use energy-saving stoves and jikos. It's also important to use gas stoves that do not leak and switch off immediately after cooking. We should also encourage the planting of trees to replace the ones that are cut for fuel like firewood and charcoal. Ways to conserve lighting fuel include: switch or put off lights when they're not in use. Make sure you use energy-saving bulbs. Use solar light instead of kerosene lamps if you can afford it. Use lamps with clean glass so that light can pass easily. Avoid leaving candles burning after you sleep because that's just wastage. Part 5. Advantages of conserving fuel. Conserving fuel has many advantages. Let's list some. Some advantages of conserving fuels include: it helps save money for the family because the less you use, the less you'll have to buy. It also reduces smoke and air pollution. Like, who doesn't like a clean air? Protects forests by reducing trees that are being cut down. We don't want to create deserts now, do we? And it also ensures that fuel lasts longer. It promotes cleaner and healthier homes, and it also helps to protect animals and save our environment because cutting down trees and the smoke that comes from burning them is bad for the atmosphere. Now let's move to safety when you're using these fuels. When using different types of fuels, safety is very important. Here are some safety rules to always remember. Keep matches and lighters away from children. Never leave cooking unattended. Always check for gas leaks by using soapy water and not by fire. Do not cook near flammable materials like paper or curtain. Store fuel like kerosene and gas in proper containers and keep your kitchen well ventilated. Put out all lamps and candles before you go to bed. Now let's make a quick review of what we have learned in today's lesson. First, we discussed different types of fuel that we use at home for cooking and for lighting. Can you remember all the types of fuel that we learned today? List them down one by one. You can pause this video and try to recall all the types of fuel that we learned. I'm going to mention a few of them: charcoal, firewood, kerosene, electricity, and solar energy. We learned ways to conserve this fuel, and we saw the advantages of conserving this fuel. Why don't you list down some advantages that you can remember? We finished with safety rules when using them for our own well-being. Remember, fuel is valuable, use it wisely and safely. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe and share this video to your classmates so that they can also learn. See you next time.